That was disgusting, wasn't it? All that stuff coming out. But since I have the cab off, might as well go ahead and just clean it all up. I spent about 2 hours just descaling the inside of that cab. Just trying to get it all cleaned up before I lay it down for paint. My face is probably disgusting. I've been doing this. I've been at this for about 4 or 5 hours now since you watched the last video. So I'm sorry guys, I didn't turn the camera on, but in today's video, we're gonna continue to restore this 20-year-old Duramax. It's rusty, nasty. I'm sure you've been following this build. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell. You guys can't miss an episode. But in today's video, I think we're gonna go ahead and fire it up, boys. It looks like a rat's nest, but I got all the wiring all squared away. So once I lower the cab down, I can start plugging everything in. But basically, anything that I can make new, I made new, or I tried to clean it up, make it look good. We call this the budget build. Basically, it's just a stock truck. We have an RDS turbo we installed, all the HSP goodies, the valve covers and whatnot. Judging by everybody's comments in the last one, I went with the majority and it was a 4-inch exhaust. So I went ahead and purchased a 4-inch exhaust from the dieseldudes.com. I'm sure most of you guys already know this if you've checked out their website, but they sell exhaust systems for Duramax, Powerstroke, and Cummins. I know it's extremely hard to find full straight exhaust systems with mufflers or without mufflers nowadays out there in the market, but these guys actually sell them. So if you're interested, definitely check them out. But we're gonna go over the specs on the exhaust system. It's gonna make that RDS turbo sound amazing. I'm so excited to finally start it. Let's go ahead and just get the cab on the truck and hopefully get this thing fired up today. I'm so excited, man. I got so many hours, so much money in this thing, but it's gonna be nice and worth it. Also, I am gonna make a YouTube video on the full build as far as how much I spent. From start to finish, I paid 2,800 bucks for the truck. Where we're at now, how much, oh gosh, it's a lot, it's a lot. One thing I completely forgot actually, when I replaced the cross member on the truck, you missed that last video, I went ahead and replaced both cross members. They were junk, you can actually put your hands through them, it was crazy. But I don't have the exhaust hanger right there. But since I still have the factory exhaust bracket over there on that other one, I can simply go ahead and just cut it off, grind all this down, and just weld it right on there. We should be good to go there. Instead of spending the 500 bucks with those metal fuel lines, I went ahead and just made my own. I used the AirDog 1/2-inch fuel line, and I ran it from the engine, from the feed, and the return, and brought it all the way up to the lift pump right here. This is actually where the feed plumbs into. And then here's the return all the way up to the top of the sending unit. I know I didn't show it in the video, but I cut a 2-inch hole underneath the fuel tank, like 15 gallons of diesel fuel, by the way. This thing was full. Cleaned everything up, and then I installed this AirDog sump. It's gravity fed, so I don't have to worry about quarter tank issues, which is awesome. It's gonna be a lot easier on the lift pump and the CP3, of course. It's all gravity fed, but it's plumbed right here to the back. Also, I didn't do a lot of talking about it, but I cleaned up the inside of this cab. The fenders are gonna go eventually. I'm gonna be pulling those, so I don't really care about those. And I cleaned this up, I detailed it. It looks really nice. I can't wait to get all the stuff installed. You know, one of the most gut-wrenching things, I don't care how many years I've been working on vehicles, how many times I've torn down vehicles and put them back together again, I always get nervous when I turn the key for the first time because, well, of course I want it to start, but I don't want any issues. Obviously this engine was running perfectly when I pulled it, but you just never know. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let that cool down and we'll go ahead and paint over it. We should be good to go. So let's go ahead and unbox the exhaust finally. if you order this kit, this is exactly what's gonna show up in this box right here. So this is the first piece that we're gonna go ahead and install. This is gonna connect to your downpipe, to your turbo. That little bracket right there is gonna hook right there. Also, you're not gonna get the crappy clamps. These are pretty nice, they're a lot easier to use. That was literally the easiest exhaust system I've ever installed on a truck. It's actually kind of a treat because when I installed the exhaust system on the Wife Max, it has 2 turbos. I actually had to like fabricate the exhaust in order for it to run to the rear. It was a challenge, but this was pretty simple. It was just 3 clamps. So obviously this looks a little goofy, but that's just how anything goes. You're gonna have to fabricate it a little bit. I am gonna chop the end off though. For now, I'm just gonna go ahead and protect it. I'm gonna paint over it just to kind of clean things up a little bit. And that should complete the install on the Diesel Dudes 4-inch exhaust system. I think we're pretty lined up, not too bad. I just kind of went over it with that gray color that I had for the engine, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And also I can't forget, once I turn the key, once everything's all plugged up, that's gonna turn on, and I'm gonna have to loosen one of those filters just to let it fill up with fuel, and then tighten it up really quick before it all shoots out everywhere. But I'm basically just purging all the air out of the fuel lines. But yeah, looking good, looking good. All right, let's keep moving. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some room, but it's finally bolted down to the frame. Man, it's been a while. All right, I'm gonna keep working. I just want to get this thing started right now, so I'm using some of the older parts, and this fender's disgusting, so I don't want to be bolting nice, pretty powder-coated parts to this rusty fender. But I'm only gonna add like maybe 2 gallons to the engine, and also make sure it's not leaking. That's another thing, which is good. I have all the oils already put in the engine. Oh, I need to bleed the brakes yet. But other than that, man, let's see if this thing will fire up. Here, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. It looks really nice though. It looks really nice. If you didn't know this already, I have this HSP coolant tank, aluminum coolant tank. This thing's awesome. It's gonna look great. But like I said, it's kind of pointless to put it on yet. But I'm gonna throw this old nasty intake on there just because it has a mass airflow sensor on it. I'm just gonna plumb this together. I'm not even gonna put the hot side or the cold side intercooler pipes on yet. We're just gonna go ahead and crank it up, see what happens. Here we go. Hopefully the fuel isn't leaking. It's just going in there, okay. We're gonna go ahead and turn the key for the first time and just start cranking on her. It's gonna take a minute, but we'll see what happens. All right, it's been a long time since these lights have lit up. And we're just gonna keep cranking and cranking until she fires up, I guess. Hopefully the lift pump's doing its job. But yeah, I gotta cycle it. Here goes nothing. It's turning really hard. I don't know what's going on. I'll hook up my jump pack to it or something. I'm gonna supercharge it, but it's dragging, man. When it does that, I reached the end of the starter, but it sounded like it was gonna start. All right, let's do her again. Smell of diesel. That is success right there, boys. I'm getting excited. Oh, there's my camera view right there. So I have both intercooler pipes on. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Of course, I gotta get all that stuff installed, but you know, like I said, the fenders are going to be replaced. They're absolute junk, as you guys can tell. I can barely even get the fuse box to hold in the fender. At least I was able to get the hard stuff done, which was, you know, putting the cab on the truck, restoring the frame, and doing all the engine work. So everything exterior of that is gonna be a lot easier. Well, theoretically, but don't get me wrong, replacing fenders, cab corners, rockers, inners, everything, it's just gonna take so long to do. I'd much rather look at this instead of where I was at then. And of course, you know, we're gonna be throwing those on there too. I may keep the front doors, they're in good shape. And some of the internals on the back doors, but these back doors are done for. I'm actually gonna use the tractor to pull it outside, just because the brakes aren't bled, and then we'll go ahead and bleed them out here. And then hopefully, like I said, I could just move it around the driveway, that'd be kinda cool. Look at that, man. No smoke at all. Great. Let's go ahead and bleed these brakes really quick. I'm curious. Want to see if the trans will go into park and reverse and all that. That'd be good to know. This process is tedious. All new calipers, all new brake lines, and also an empty master cylinder. So once I fill this thing up, it's going to take a minute. So yeah, we're almost there though. I'm already getting pedal, so that's good. Went down a little bit, so I'm just gonna keep adding. Should be good for now. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're in reverse. Here's forward. Oh, this is awesome. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. Okay, all right. I'm gonna drive it back. Okay, so the truck is in limp mode, unfortunately. I was gonna do a smoky burnout, but we're actually low on trans fluid. I put like 8 quarts in there, believe it or not. I'm surprised. It was really dry. Here we go, Amsoil, guys. And it's like 15 bucks for one of these stupid things. So if you want to take out a small loan to do a transmission fluid change on your truck, go for it. But yeah, like right now, if I tried to start it and do anything with it, it just says rain shift inhibited on the dash. 9 times out of 10, it's low on fluid, and it is. I just checked it.
Nice. Oh no. Oh no.